lot is going on right now in Taiwan's politics. We're seeing a mass recall movement to remove legislators. We're hearing calls to remove Taiwan's president, and even accusations that Taiwan's president and his party are weaponizing the judicial system to go after their political enemies. Have we ever seen Taiwan's politics and government so divided before?
Now, what is interesting is that this mass use of recalls now on both sides, but it was primarily initiated on the pro DPP, anti KMT side, is unprecedented on the national level worldwide. This has never been done on such a mass scale before, either in Taiwan or worldwide. In the past, Taiwan's government has definitely been divided before. The Chen Shui-bian era, the pan-blue bloc of the Kuomintang, the People's First Party, and the New Party, together formed a pan-blue majority against the DPP executive. So this is not new. However, of course, in this current context, there are some new elements.
What has been the public's reaction to these calls to remove public officials, legislators, and even the president? Is there support for this? And do you think any of the recalls will go through?
Up until very recently, definitely the enthusiasm and the motivation has been on the side of the anti-KMT recalls. However, over the last week and a half, you see KMT Chair Eric Chu has been trying out some new language, trying out some new moves, and has pivoted very sharply to the base. Now, we don't know yet whether or not Eric Chu's actions and his strategic plan to really try and rev up the KMT base will work in the long run, but in the short term, he's definitely been very successful. To recall or impeach the president, which they have to get 2/3 of the legislature, and then it has to go to a vote of the public. So at this point, I think that his poll numbers are still high enough to hold on, but an 8-point drop in 1 month is pretty dramatic. And since such a thing would not happen for months and months into the future, if that trend were to continue, it would be very bad.
Now, we've just seen Taiwan's premier try to win over the three parties in the legislature to get support for this special budget to counter U.S. tariffs. Do you think it's possible for all three parties to work together at this moment?
The KMT has called on the DPP to increase the amount of money and subsidies to go toward local businesses to protect against the proposed Trump tariffs. Then I do believe there's a window for the two parties to cooperate. They will negotiate and find something in the middle. That would be the ideal situation. However, if the KMT, after calling for increased subsidies from the government, then proved intransigent and refused to compromise and held out for a much larger number, that would be a politically risky move that could go either way.